love espresso, and I'm sure you do too, but there's some hard truths that I don't think a lot of people know that I wanted to address today about this beverage we all love. And the first one is that espresso didn't technically start this way. So espresso at first was meant to be a super fast, small caffeinated beverage, but it was done with steam power. They didn't have pumps, they didn't have the springs that we talk about now. So the original espresso machines were all operating on steam pressure. So it pretty much just made slightly smaller cups of coffee that were more concentrated relatively quickly. And then Gaggia was the first one to patent the spring that gave us kind of the 9 bars of pressure that we now know as an espresso machine, right? The pressurization that makes this small condensed beverage with crema on it and all this flavor. And then it kind of evolved from there. More technology was added. La Marzocco was the first one to turn the tank sideways. Old espresso machines groups were up and down, right? La Marzocco was the first one to turn it sideways. And then La Marzocco came out with technology like saturated group heads and things like that, and everyone else contributed in their own ways too to kind of the espresso machine. So I'd say that's the first hard truth I wanted to drop on you about espresso, is that it didn't start like this, it's evolving, and I think it'll continue to evolve. Even the coffees that we use in espresso used to be 10% Robusta, 90% Arabica. That was kind of the golden standard of espresso. The Robusta gave it that deep orange kind of thick crema that the Italian consumer tend to associate with quality for a long time, and we don't do that anymore. We're experimenting with lighter roasts of espresso. We're not roasting it super dark. Espresso's got bigger as far as the actual volume of coffee and liquid out. It grew exponentially. It used to be, a 14 gram in, 28 gram out shot. Now we're looking at, most specialty places are probably pulling 20 in or 18 in, 36 out, 36 to 40 out. That seems very normal. So espresso is going to continue to evolve. It's never a stagnant thing. So I try not to define espresso too heavily, because it's always evolving with tastes, with preferences, with how kind of the industry as a whole is moving. I guess the second thing that I wanted to tell you about espresso is that it's no longer a certain type of bean or a special blend. Espresso is any coffee that's extracted in that manner. People are using lighter roasts that are maybe more geared towards filtered coffee and getting these crazy acidic, citrusy kind of shots out, and people are enjoying them. So espresso is changing that way as well, where we're having kind of new looks at what espresso can be, what it should be, and it really comes down to like what you like about it. And the last thing I'm gonna say that is a hard truth about espresso is that I think that espresso is limited only by grinder technology. So I think as we get better with grinding things uniformly, as that technology increases, we're gonna get more precise extractions. Right now the inconsistency is mainly coming from the grinder. Of course, in the machines there's inconsistencies as well, but I think that the key to espresso is actually in the grinder. How we're gonna get to kind of the place of perfect espresso will be in the grinder, less so the machine. Even though the machine is kind of the one that takes all the glory, the machine's the one that you talk about all the time, but I'm telling you, I think the grinder is gonna be the next frontier that we really focus on with espresso, the thing that makes the most difference. So anyways, I just wanted to make this video just telling you some hard truths, some interesting thoughts on espresso, just because it's such a powerful beverage, literally and metaphorically. People love this beverage, and they love lattes and cappuccinos and all the things you can do with espresso. So I just wanted to make this video to quickly talk about my worldview on espresso, and I hope you enjoy an espresso today.